So I watched Jack in the Book's video from like a year ago, which was like 20 questions to get to know me as a booktuber. I wrote down all the questions in the video and there was like only 19, unless I missed one, but I swear I was paying attention, so I've only got 19 questions. But I'm gonna go through them. They're in a random order. I didn't do it in the same order for some reason. And I feel like these questions are really simple, but they are accurate to who I am as a person, because reading is literally half my personality. So the first one was, how many books is too many books in a series? This is hard because when I don't read many series, and the one series that I own the complete collection of is like a really cliche YA romantasy, which is called Crave by Tracy Wolff. I've loved that series for years. I will always love that series, and it has like 6 books, I think, and I think there were like 1 or 2 books where I was like, this wasn't necessary, but I still enjoyed it. So I would say 4 is a good point to stop at, I think. And then I don't read many other series in general. I mean, there are like loads of like, you know, like romance series where the characters' focus changes so the couples change each book, but the same characters are in all the books in each other's circles, connected in some way. And I don't know why, but I don't really count them as a series because I'm not reading one consecutive plot. And even then, I think it's like 3 books most romance authors do. So I would say 3-4 is good. If I love a series, I don't mind how long it goes on for, but I think if a book is unnecessary, then that's the time that, you know, let's wrap it up quick. Your favourite book? Easy, Just Kids by Patti Smith. Your least favourite book? This is hard. Okay, there are books that I think are just shit. Loads of 1 stars, unfortunately, right? And there are books that I even gave more stars, but I viscerally hated them. So I'm going to take it as that, because least favourite book to me isn't like your lowest rated book, I think. So my least favourite book, again if you're new here, is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I had a YouTube video about this book go a bit, not viral, but it just did really well, and I still get notifications on that, and it was like 2-3 years ago now. I hated that book so much. I think it was so shit. So overhyped, I think, as well. And equally with that, The Year of Rest and Relaxation by Ardessa Moshfegh, because I am a big Ardessa Moshfegh hater. I am. Yes, I am. Love triangles, yes or no? No. I know I just said I loved Crave the series, and technically there is a love triangle, but not really. I hate when it's the main focus, can't stand it. Throw it away, burn it, light it on fire. I would rather off myself. How about that? Most recent book that I read, The Bard's Bargain by Vanessa Green. Loved it, 5 stars, brilliant. Most recent book you couldn't finish. Fun fact, I don't DNF books, so there isn't a single book that I couldn't finish. But the most recent book that I almost DNF'd is Helen's Judgment. I can't remember who it's by, some white lady that's not Greek. I just, again, if you're new here, hate Greek retellings. They do my culture absolutely no justice, and it's just like fucking Susan or Karen from across the road who just makes it the most depressing shit ever, or the most like raunchy shit ever, and I can't stand it. I just can't do it. Last book I recommended, ooh, I Who Have Never Known Men. Got that for my nan for Christmas. I just think like every woman should read it. I think it's also like oddly appropriate for all ages, even though it's about like severe trauma. I just think for women it's a very important read. The oldest book I've ever read. Do people just know this stuff? I wonder if that's something that people just know. Like, do you know that off the top of your head? I don't think that's something I would know. Realistically, it's probably something I read whilst I was in school. If I go to read Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, realistically it would probably be oldest book. 1886, yeah, that'll do it. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde was probably the oldest book I've read. Years ago, of course, but I loved that book actually. It was very good. The newest book I've read, anything that came out this month, so I think The Bard's Bargain came out last month, but there was a few. If I go onto my NetGalley, I want to get the actual correct answer for this. Titles, feedback sent, publishing date November. No, I think maybe November was the last publishing date. Yeah, I think it was The Bard's Bargain. Yes, it was The Bard's Bargain by Vanessa Green. Was also the most recent release I believe I've read. Favorite author, Patti Smith. And then my second favorite author is Jenny Slate. Buying or borrowing books. Okay, does secondhand buying count as buying or borrowing? Because that would be my option. I don't like to buy new books. I like to buy secondhand books, and I've never borrowed. And I also get the feeling that I would hate borrowing from like a friend or something, because I'm like, this isn't mine to like crack the spine and dog ear the pages and shit like that. So buying, technically. A book you dislike that everyone else loves. The two I've already mentioned. Fucking hated them. I also hated Sex and Rage by 𝙂𝙧𝙗𝙗, which everyone seems to love. I think it was so bad. Bookmarks or dog ear, if that wasn't obvious. I'm a big dog ear girly, although I have like a million bookmarks and they're gorgeous. I just hate using it. It's too much. I get overstimulated. A book I can always reread. Crave series, Call Me By Your Name, Patti Smith, anything by Patti Smith. Jenny Slate, I haven't reread her stuff because literally just read her entire discography in 2024, so it's like still new to me, but I would actively. Can you read whilst listening to music? Yes, including music with lyrics. One or multiple POVs. In a romance, I like both POVs of the main characters that are in love. In general, like in literary fiction, contemporary fiction, one POV. I don't need several. I think in any other case, I don't need it. Do you read a book in one sitting or multiple? If I really love it, it will just be one sitting. If I'm not liking it, I will have to spread it out over a few days. A book you read because of the cover. Love and the Downfall of Society by Melinda Kopp, and it was one of my best reads of 2024, so worth it. And you can judge a book by its cover. Finally, how do you feel about cliffhangers? God, I don't know. I think it really depends. For example, Crave, the series, has a couple cliffhangers, but that's because she knows what's going to happen in the next series, like the author Tracy Wolff. So I think it's always a hard one. I think it's so dependent, it's too dependent. I think in crime fiction, mystery fiction, fantasy, heavy on the fantasy, I like it. I think in contemporary lit fic, and usually romance, I don't think it's necessary. I don't think it adds anything. But I'm not partial to one or the other. I enjoy most things, so yeah, those are my answers. Let me know what yours are. Do you agree or disagree with anything I've said? I will see you in next week's video. Hopefully daylight comes back. As you can tell, I'm in my cozy little corner in every video these days because daylight literally lasts like an hour these days. But I love you all so much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.